We put a lot of effort in the actual plan to move forward with the project. You always have the plan to look at vendors and how you're going to select, but as the capital project manager for the OR, I like to put a plan in place so everybody is involved and knows what's going on. So we had at least a series of 3 meetings, not only with our facilities and biomed departments, but we had our contractors here. Who's doing the walls? Who's doing the plumbing? Who's doing the electrical? Who's building our cabinets? Who's redoing our floor? All those people, main contractors that our facilities department took care of acquiring for us, we sat down in a room and we came up with a time frame. As you know, our coordinator, I know what my time frames are, and as most of us do, we want it yesterday. It's not 3 months from now, I needed it done yesterday. And that was imperative to making sure we could transition to EVOTECH without interfering with our patient flow and with our physicians' practices. And that was key. So we had a 3-part transition in which, because we have 3 areas at St. Luke's that all had an SS1, and our endoscopy department, our cystoscopy department, and then our CVOR, our cardiovascular OR, so they can reprocess their intubating scopes and bronchoscopy, so they've always been able to maintain that themselves. We had construction timelines by days down to hours sometimes. There are always challenges whenever you're changing major processes. Endoscopy processing, as you all know, is a very tight-knit, on-task process. Especially with the EVOTECH, there is a strong stress on water quality. And here at St. Luke's, we're at the end of the city water line. Our water, though it tests at the street fine, it still had plenty of impurities that would not allow the machine to come up. ASP and our field technician worked with our facilities department and us to the nth degree to make sure our water was getting filtered appropriately without spending a ton of money. Another one was water pressure. Again, end of the line, you're not getting too much down here. And we were able to work with ASP and with our contractors to make sure we could get the pressure where we needed to be. I see a number of benefits that have come out of converting to EVOTECH. One being consistency in the care of our scopes. We have seen a decrease in repairs, so our scopes are handled the same way by our staff, which, you know, at first you can assume repairs, oh, staff's mishandling, whatever. Here, when we backtrack the statistical data that we've pulled and when we made the transition date, the majority of our repairs and issues were from the chemical compounds that are not being used within the EVOTECH system. Another one of our pluses is consistency and cleanliness. We can monitor it, we can measure it. When you're talking to the Joint Commission or you're talking to ISO surveyors, those are the 2 things that they always ask. Can you monitor it? Can you measure it? And if you can't do either one of those, you know where your survey is going, especially in that area. This provides us the data and the consistency we need to be able to, here you go, this is what we're using. Our turnover times between scopes has improved. Now we have 2 double bowl systems in our endoscopy suite, for example, and our doctors don't have to wait. Sometimes when we only had 3 SS1 units, we turn over endoscopy procedures. One surgeon will run 2 rooms, and we're doing anywhere from 3 to 4 scopes in an hour. Well, it just couldn't handle the load based on time. And with the 2 double bowl systems, we are able to reprocess those scopes all consistently, same level of care, like I say, from patient A to Z, and the physician's not waiting.
It became very apparent that JACO was looking for things to be measured. Became very apparent that JACO was very concerned about that. So when we decided to look at EVOTECH, we decided that you had to take the mix out of it. So this EVOTECH took the mix out of all the human components to it. So I went to them, and we took the mix out of the pre-cleaning. That was the highlight of our decision-making process, that there was no pre-cleaning in the whole idea. It's cut time down, clinical practice, everything was measured, no human component for error. The printout told you that the scope was processed correctly. You had, at every point, you knew exactly what was happening to that scope, and that it was absolutely high-level disinfection at the end. There's absolutely no contact with any toxic chemicals to our staff. I don't have to worry about disposing of half-used containers of chemical anymore. Disposing of the empty containers are very easy. We've eliminated testing with any kind of test strip. We have eliminated doing any biological testing now. The machine completely does that for you. When we were JACO and ISO certified recently in March, they came in, they noticed that we had transitioned to EVOTECH. They had a few questions about our practice and had 7 minutes, I think they were in my department, and as soon as they saw that we were able to measure and it was out of human hands, we were golden. Here at St. Luke's, we always are concerned with not only the safety of the worker, but also the safety of the patient. We wanted to produce a scope that was high-level disinfection and realize that the outcome was going to be potentially good for both the worker and the patient.
But every time I walk in there, I get, thanks for getting it. I don't have to wash scopes anymore. All I have to do is plug it in and it does it for me. You know, if something's broken I'm not finding out in the room, the machine has detected something was wrong, failed a leak test, what have you. Past systems couldn't do it. Another big staff satisfier is the fact they work. They work consistently. Given any moment in time, 2 to 3 of them were down for repair, to the point of where we had to do a workaround plan, acquire a refurbished unit that was our portable plug-in. So if a unit went down, the endoscopy nurses are calling, I'm down another unit. Well, where we would have to wait a week or so for parts, get it fixed and get it back up, we had a refurb that we used to come around and basically plug and play and swap out. With the EVOTECH, we don't have that problem. It tells us if there is an issue, for example, it's either the filter needs to be changed or we didn't connect the scope up correctly. The staff love the fact that they have working equipment every single day.